Hey guys, it's Chris and welcome back to another House of the Dragon video. Today we're going to talk about episode 3. We got the little teaser trailer after episode 2. So let's jump right in. We're going to definitely have a time jump here because we see that Aegon has already been born. So we're going to jump in time at least a year or so, I would imagine. This is going to really highlight the relationship between Viserys and Rhaenyra. As we saw in episode 2, they had a very good conversation, kind of got back on the same page, and Rhaenyra in episode 2 seemed to genuinely understand and want him to take a new wife to fulfill his duty as king, but she never expected to be her best friend, and this is why this is going to work so well with this show, where from the books, this is a little bit different, where they aged Alicent down, aged Rhaenyra up, made them close to the same age, and became BFFs, and that's why this is going to work even better for the TV series. And before we continue, let me thank today's sponsor, Ewin Racing. I've used Ewin racing chairs for many years now, and by far they are the most beautiful chairs, and they're actually made from real leather, not any of that fake leather, pleather stuff, so you do have to take care of these. Ewin racing chairs will hold up to 550 pounds. It is a steel frame, but you're not going to sit on any steel bars or particle board through the memory foam. You're going to actually be in a comfortable chair. They have the adjustable lumbar pillow as well as the neck pillow, and again, they are adjustable. Simply slide them up and down as you please. One of the great features of these chairs are the 4D adjustable armrests, and these adjust 4 different ways. And of course, these chairs obviously are height adjustable, and these chairs are actually fully reclinable. You can lean them all the way back and actually take a nap in these chairs if you want to, and that may or may not have happened a few times in this very studio. I also want to mention really quickly, these are not just necessarily gaming chairs. These are office chairs as well. They do have all the colorful chairs if you like those styles, but they also have many full black options as well for any office use. So check out Ewin Racing Chairs. There will be a link in the description below to get 20% off any racing chair if you use the code SMOKE. Just go to checkout, enter the code SMOKE, and you will get 20% off any gaming chair no matter how expensive. Thanks again to Ewin Racing for sponsoring today's video. So we see a shot of Rhaenyra walking away from Viserys as they probably talk about this. And then we have a shot here of Otto Hightower talking to Alicent. Of course, this is obviously after they've been married and she's had Aegon II. And he's already plotting and scheming that Aegon will be king. Now keep in mind that he's the one that suggested that Viserys name Rhaenyra heir just to settle the succession issue he was always bugging him about. But he knew what he was doing the whole time, as we saw in previous episodes, basically whoring out his daughter. There's already a plot to make Aegon king and just skip right over Rhaenyra. And this is where Alicent could have disagreed here and broken this tradition of only male heirs and all that good stuff, because her best friend, at least in the show, is heir to the Iron Throne officially, and she could have fought against this. This is why I don't like Team Green. And then we see a couple shots of young Aegon, and Otto continues his voiceover. He's the firstborn son of the king, sticking to tradition, all that kind of stuff. And we see Viserys tell Rhaenyra, you will be with your own child soon enough. Of course, he's going to make her get married to Laenor Velaryon. She's obviously objecting to this, and you hear the little outburst, even I am not above tradition and all that stuff as the king. So we're going to see that very soon as well, where she is forced to marry Laenor Velaryon. And as we know, Viserys could have married Laena Velaryon, even if he waited a few years or whatever, and avoided all these issues, but he chose Alicent because he did come to care for her, it seems, in their meetings, their secret meetings, by the way, to kept from Rhaenyra, because Alicent, again, as said on last night's live stream, broke the girl code and kept these meetings secret, as opposed to just going innocently and trying to read to her father or whatever it may have been. So we see the Alicent and Rhaenyra split as it starts to take place, and she is pissed off. You see Alicent saying it doesn't have to be this way. Obviously, they've had a discussion about this thing, and Rhaenyra takes off somewhere on horseback, and this is what we saw in the teaser trailer before, where she runs off and Harold Westerling goes after her. We don't know where she's going, and maybe she goes to clear her head somewhere or whatever, because later we do see her sitting somewhere. We're not exactly sure where this is, and somebody startles her as she kind of jumps and crawls backwards. But I think this will be Sir Kristen Cole coming in to talk to her, because they will have some type of relationship here, I believe. We'll see which way it goes, because in one account, she likes him, wants him to break his vows, he rejects her, and then of course in the other account, he likes her and she rejects him. So we'll see which is true, if any at all. We have a couple shots of Krakus Drahar, the crab feeder here. This is going to be obviously the war for the Stepstones. We're going to see kick off next episode. We do see a few shots of that as well. Can't tell here, but we talked about it in the live stream last night. Looks like this dude may have grayscale or something. He's got something wrong with him. We see more shots of the horrible things he's doing to these pirates. Now he basically stakes them down to the beach and lets the tide come in, and all the crabs feed off their bodies. And we hear a voiceover here of Lionel Strong, I believe it is, talking to the king, and apparently he's giving him an update on the war for the Stepstones. It's become urgent. So this is where Viserys may go ahead and say, let Daemon play at war. It keeps him out of trouble, as we saw in the books, but we'll see, because he seems to be really opposed to this. And obviously last episode, Corlys Velaryon is really pissed off, not only because he didn't wed his daughter, but because he refuses to do anything about the Stepstones. And that was a great scene in episode 2 when Corlys Velaryon actually goes to Daemon Targaryen, the rogue prince, and suggests they take care of it together. We see a quick shot here of, I believe it's just going to be Viserys hunting. This is probably a boar or something. Perhaps it's the same boar that killed Robert Baratheon. Maybe it's a 200-year-old boar. We see what looks to be a war table here, and this is probably going to be the one on the Stepstones where you have Daemon and Corlys planning the war, planning strategy, etc. Perhaps this will be on Driftmark or another island of the Stepstones, but this will be the beginning of the war, and they're planning their little war council here. And then we see several shots of the war itself starting to take fold. We have Daemon on the ground for some reason. I don't know why he's not always on Caraxes, but we see some horrible shots of the war, and then of course we see some archers get taken out, as we saw in the trailers when they yell out dragon, and it looks like that's going to be Laenor Velaryon on Sea Smoke, at least in that shot where he burns the archers. So next episode we'll definitely start to see some action, some dragon shots here, and again, I think, as I said in the live stream in last week's video, they're definitely going to add more dragons to this battle as opposed to just Daemon on Caraxes. I think we may see Rhaenys on Melees. We'll definitely see Laenor on Sea Smoke, and possibly even Rhaenyra helping out on Syrax as well. Really good changes from the books that I think makes this thing more interesting. As I mentioned before, having Alicent and Rhaenyra be close friends really helps it become more of a tragedy. It kind of really cuts deeper as far as what's going to happen. And then of course in Season 2, that now is officially greenlit, we'll definitely start the Dance of the Dragons, and we'll probably see First Blood at the end of Season 1. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. As usual, thank you for all the support, especially to you guys on Patreon. And a huge shout out to my executive Patreon SmokeScreen producers. And of course, if you dig what I do here, please give these videos a like, comment, and a share. And do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button as we march towards 100,000 subscribers. I really appreciate all your support and everybody hanging out on the live streams. And we'll see you next Sunday live right after episode 3. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.